Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Everybody, let's go ahead and let's get the shades. Let's put these things on. What the hell is this? This is a pen? All right, man. Let's go ahead and get everything going, man. Hold on. Let me volume this up a little bit. Making sure everything is looking right. As you know, these things just tend to shift sometimes, you know. Sometimes there's no technical difficulties. Sometimes there's a lot of technical difficulties. And everything looking good. Y'all let me know if it sounds good on the mic over there. Let me know if the audio is coming through your headsets or your phones correctly. No issues on my end, let me know. Because as you know, this is just a fluid. As Stephen A. Smith, you know, we won't give him credit for anything, but it is a fluid situation here. Okay, hold on. I think I got a guest up in here. Give me a second, ladies and gentlemen. All right, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so all the technical difficulties are out the way. Let me go ahead and add my guest up in here. But first, I need to adjust my visual over here. Let me put myself over in a little corner right here, as you can see. And then let me bring up my guest. Let me set this up so y'all can see who we got on the channel today, man. See if it pops up. Let me see if it pops up. Yeah, it popped up. There we go. All right. Let me do a proper introduction here. But let me go ahead and volume down this volume over here because it's a little too loud for me, man. All right, man. So this is your boy TGK here with the Dallas Mavericks official pregame show, and we got a special guest today. We got Rodrigo. What's up, man? How you doing, bro?
Hey, man, I'm doing good. You know, just ready for this Mavs game. Got the Luka jersey on, got the gear on, so you know, I have to be repping the Mavs today for sure.
Yes, sir. Of course, man. And that's dope. I'm glad you hopped on today, man. You know, I'm always open for people to jump on the shows, and sometimes I feel like I don't do a good enough job because I'd be like stuck into so many things. So I'm glad you reached out and asked to hop on because. You know, as I always say, this show isn't just for me. This is for all the Mavs fans, and at the end of the day, it's to make a show for us to kind of get through that 1 hour of waiting for the game to start. And this is just a cool way to get through that hour to talk Mavs basketball and eventually get to the game. You know what I'm saying? So appreciate you hopping on, bro.
Yeah, no, thank you for having me on. I mean, you know, for those who don't know me, I mean, you know, I do stuff for 105.3 The Fan here in Dallas. More of a producer on the producing side of things, but definitely still part of that radio station and that team of really excellent producers, hosts, and etc. But yeah, no, I mean, you know, I always love to hop on these spaces and things like that and talk Mavericks basketball. And like I said, we got a really good matchup today for sure.
Oh,
I mean, even though they don't have Ja Morant and even though we don't have Luka, it's still, I think, going to be a really good matchup.
Oh no, for sure, man. I didn't ask I didn't get to ask you want to explain to the people what you do on the back end. But yeah, I hope you got it all through. Is there anything else you want to add to that, man? Let them know where we can find you at on Twitter. If you want to send them to Instagram, let them know what else they don't know about you, bro.
Oh yeah, you know, so my Twitter is Rigo Mendoza ETC. So I used to work for I used to do articles for the etc. here in Eastfield. So that's why I kept my Twitter the same way. I was just like, well, you know, I might as well just keep it ETC, have it be a little fun thing that I do, you know, have it be like, oh, it's my etc. page or whatever. So that's kind of why I decided to keep it that way. But as far as the Instagram is concerned, that's real_Rigo. I'm pretty sure that's how it is. If it's not, then I'll text you and you can DM it or put it in the Twitters. But yeah, no, definitely. That's pretty much it. I mean, that's pretty much it. I'm ready to talk some ball, man.
All right, man. Let's get to it, man. So for those that don't know, if you're new to the show, what we do is we'll have 4 segments today, and in those 4 segments, in between the segments, we'll jump into the chat, and then we'll look at some matchups and predictions and over-unders and all that good stuff. So let's go ahead and let's jump into our first segment of the day. And in today's first segment, it is the matchup against the. Let me make sure I got my stuff ready here, because you get off of work and all your equipment ain't ready to go yet, but let me go ahead and sound off the sound right quick. So yeah, today's matchup is against the Memphis Grizzlies. The Memphis Grizzlies are currently, let me see where are they at. They are currently in the 3rd seed in the West with a 43-27 record. They average 116 points per game while giving up 112 points per game. So they have a really good differential plus minus there with a 3.9 plus minus. While the Mavericks, we made some ground with 2 consecutive wins at 36 and 35, scoring almost 114 and giving up 113. Rodrigo, initial thoughts on this matchup. Go ahead and let me know what you think about this matchup today, man.
Yeah, so I guess the first thing that kind of comes to mind is the Mavericks have played the Grizzlies, I believe it's twice in the span of like a month at this point. So they should be very, very familiar with this opponent.
Yep.
I think the first thing that kind of stands out is Kyrie and Luka weren't available for those 2 matchups. And it'll be really interesting to see how Kyrie can kind of get this team across the finish line against a really, really good Memphis team. Defensively, they've been, I think, very, very decently. You highlighted it just now with their really, really good plus-minus differential. And they're really, really good offensively as well, despite not having Ja Morant. Now, how much chirping back and forth that'll happens in this game, that'll also, I think, be a really, really big factor in the game, because you don't want to get into a situation where you have a lot of guys getting into foul trouble because Dylan Brooks is yapping his mouth and other guys are starting to yap their mouth. So you really, really, I think, have to be careful on really all sides of the ball, but also not play with any fear, because again, you're, I think, 1 or 2 games removed from being the 4 seed. This is a perfect, crisp opportunity to be get a really good matchup and possibly get a home matchup once you hit the playoffs.
Oh no, for sure. I mean, if I can, let me see if I can get us to the window screen so I can show them what we're looking at here. Let me see. If I can attempt it. Let me see if everything. Oh. My bad. That did not work. That did not work. All right, never mind.
I got a lot of feedback on my side.
Yeah, well, I don't know what the hell that was. My bad, ladies and gentlemen. As you know, technical difficulties is a part of the show here. But yes, to reset all of that. Yeah, right now the Memphis Grizzlies, they do sit in the 3rd seed, and they've been 6-4 in the last 10 matchups. 2 of them wins coming against the Mavs. So they've been getting the shorthanded Mavs. They've been able to get some, how would I say, easier wins, for a lack of a better term. And so tonight having
that last matchup.
What's up?
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there. Was Maxey available in that last matchup? I can't recall.
I don't think so. I think he returned against the Spurs, so it had to be after the second matchup against the Grizzlies. I think he was there for the first one, but he wasn't available for the second one. I can't quite remember. But it definitely feels like
the first time I've seen Maxey.
Yeah, I think so. No, I think he played in the first one. But I don't think he played at the home one. We can look at it, but I know for sure the having Kyrie is going to bring definitely a different element to this game today. So if he is not a scratch, which without pressing the wrong button and getting some feedback, maybe I could pull up Twitter here. As you know, I always check the Mavs Twitter PR. But as far as the matchup is concerned, I mean, we're looking at players like Dylan Brooks and Desmond Bane and Jackson. Again, this is not going to be a different team that we saw the last time. They are still without Ja Morant. They're still without Steven Adams, and they're obviously without Clark. But it's going to be extremely interesting to see. And I do have breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. Let me go ahead and cue my sound here for breaking news. Where's my breaking news sound? Oh, my God. See, this is how these things go, right? Here it goes. Oh, no, that's not it. Enough. No breaking news sound, but Kyrie Irving and Tim Hardaway Jr., I can confirm, based on Mavs PR, they are going to be available for tonight's game. So for those that do not know, Luka Doncic and Markieff Morris will not be available, but Tim Hardaway Jr. and Kyrie will be. But it's a big matchup tonight, man. Right now, we're currently in a 6 seed. We've been able to get 2 wins in a row recently. And for a short period of time there, I was in the pits of as being a Mavs fan because we just been losing, and then Luka with the thigh, Kyrie with the foot. It's just like, man, let's be done with this, you know. But then they've been able to. I don't know if you caught it. Let me know if you caught this. But at the end of the Lakers game, Kyrie said that the Mavs had like some real conversations behind closed doors, and they've been able to kind of build from that. Do you think like that game against the Lakers, the way Maxi Kleber hit the game-winning shot, the way Kyrie looked for him, and the way they all celebrated, kid jumping into the pile, do you think that is going to be like a turning point for our season in combination to what he stated in the post-game press conference against the Lakers?
That's a really good question. I really, really do think so. I think that camaraderie, a lot of the things that I've been seeing in Mavericks Twitter and Mavericks Twitter can be a really interesting place depending on what side you go to.
Right.
Mavs Twitter can be a really, really interesting place. The vibes, I guess, for lack of better words, haven't really been there this year. And that's the thing, it's that if those vibes, if those that feeling, that energy isn't there, your bench is going to feel it, and that way they're going to start to struggle. Your offense, your starters are going to feel it, so they're not going to be in the same group. It's just it's a lot of things that start tumbling one after the other. And so I think that could be a turning point. It really felt like the turning point. Maxey hitting that shot really, really felt like a turning point in the season. It's one of those moments, kind of like when you watch a championship film, and I'm not saying that the Mavs are going to win the whole thing. Right. Hypothetically, if they win the whole thing, that's one of those moments that you're going to look at that DVD and you're going to be like, oh, wow, that's when the season changed for them.
Yep.
And so it's really, really important, I think, for Kyrie to even be involved in those conversations because he's up for a contract at the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
And so that just shows that he can be a leader on and off the court. And maybe he can even help Luka create a better, because again, a lot of the things that have been talked on negatively on Luka this year have been his body language. So maybe Kyrie is giving him some pointers about his body language, about like, hey, like you may not notice it, but the media notices how bad your body language can look at times. And if your body language is not up to par, people will catch on to that and they'll be like, well, this dude doesn't want to be here, or this dude doesn't want to do this, or this dude doesn't want to do that. And so I think that's really, really important. That's really good that Kyrie is in the forefront of all of that.
Yeah, no, I definitely 1000% agree. To see him even just say it, and then they kind of asked him like, "So can you share something?" And he was like, "No." But the fact that he alluded to it, that they had these conversations, and then the fact that in that game-winning shot, you saw it. You know what I'm saying? And I've been real critical of Jason Kidd this year, just because I was a massive fan of the hiring last year. I was all aboard, even though everybody hated it. And then this year, I don't know what happened. Like, it's just the rotations are not ideal. Certain play calls just didn't make sense. Certain starting rotations just didn't make sense. I'm like, come on, kid. I know there's a mastermind somewhere in there. Like, can you just let it out eventually? Whatever master plan is, like, stop making me suffer and let's get some wins. But for all of that to happen in that game against LA, it could definitely be one of the most pivotal points as far as the Kyrie era inside of Dallas with Luka goes, because say it kept going into like the bad vibes that we were feeling prior to these last 2 wins, who knows what this offseason looks like. So hopefully this is a catalyst for them to move forward. So before we get into the next segment, as you guys know, between each segment, I'll jump into the comments to see what we're talking about, see what we are feeling. And we got the homie, King from We Talk Mavs. He says first. We still do that in 20. Yeah, we still do that. Because I think we definitely still do that. We still do that. And then Rel from We Talk Mavs says second. I was waiting for someone to say third, but RC says he puts the eyeballs out there. Yeah, I know you can't see these comments. I still haven't figured it out. I need to talk to We Talk Mavs a little bit more to get I probably need to make the switch to StreamYard. That way you can see exactly what I'm looking at, but I'll get there one day. Jody says, yo, what's up, Jody? And then Marcel says the sound is A1. Appreciate that. I asked before you got on about the sound to make sure everything sounded good because, technical difficulties. Oh, we got the homie Coy with a $4 donation, $5 donation. Appreciate you, man. As always, appreciate you so much. Again, it doesn't get old. It's just one of those cool feelings. The fact that people send a super donation, man. That's pretty dope. Coy says, Kai, Josh, masterclass. I can feel it. Good point. We're going to talk about Josh here in a second. Queen, what's up, Queen? Neptune says, what's good, family? What's good? What's good with you? Potato Buff says, 103rd. What are you trying to get at that, Potato? What's up, fam? What's up, man? Hope everything is good. All right. So that was the chat. Again, if y'all have any comments or questions for Rigo, let's sign them off, man. We can read them off here and he can respond directly to you. And same thing here. If you got any question for me, right here. So let's get into the keys to victory for today's game. Let me go ahead and sound off the sound right quick and hit the stinger with it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, keys to victory. The Dallas Mavericks are taking on the Memphis Grizzlies. This time we will have Kyrie Irving available, Tim Hardaway available. So it seems like we have a better opportunity to win. We will be on the road against the Memphis Grizzlies. And again, they are still without Steven Adams, Ja Morant. Rodrigo, what is one of your two keys to victories? Like, what is something you want to see out there that they implement, that they do, that gives us an opportunity to win tonight's game?
I'll do you one better. I'll give you three.
Okay.
And then that one will be like a little bonus. And so I think the first key is just playing really, really good and solid defense. I know that's very, very difficult right now in 2023 for the Mavs, but I think really, really good defense will be a really big key because, again, despite them not having Ja Morant, they have other guys that can make plays for them and create opportunities for them. So I definitely think that again, being defensively sound will be a really, really big key. And I think the second key, is just continue to push the pace. Playing with pace has been one of the biggest new additions or new wrinkles, I guess, to the game with the addition of Kyrie Irving. So I think playing with a lot more pace, it will be the really, really big key, at least in my eyes. And I think the bonus key to the game, I think, will just be to kind of hush up that crowd really, really quickly and do it as quickly as you can, because if you can get that crowd to kind of stay quiet a little bit more, you can get them out of here. You can maybe start some of your bench players. I know that'll be extremely difficult to do, but if you catch Memphis on a bad night, you might be able to put up a nice chunk of points, and then, like I said, just start those bench players.
Yeah, no, I think for me, the keys to victory would be to see putting Kyrie in actions, say against, I know Desmond Bain is a good defender, Dylan Brooks. I just want to see what those matchups look like and then see if we could expose something, say with a pick and roll with Christian Wood on top of the key. You got Kyrie coming down and then see if there's a switch. And if they switch, say Desmond on the Christian Wood, he has a height advantage by a long shot. And so I think you can expose this team quite a bit. In the first matchup against them, they took them into the fourth quarter in Memphis, and they were able to they were in that game. And Jaden Hardy didn't have the most efficient game because his second game against them was really inefficient in Dallas. But if they could kind of repeat that, but with Kyrie at the helm, obviously Kyrie is not going to turn the ball over as much as Jaden Hardy did in those two games. Obviously, Kyrie's going to be a lot more efficient and be able to push the pace more effectively. Again, it's not to slight Jaden Hardy. He is a rookie, and he is playing very well when he does go out there and play. But Kyrie gives you an added element of, professionalism. He's a vet. He can do a lot more things that doesn't go on the stat board, so to speak, where Jaden Hardy, he's got to make his jump shot for it to kind of appear. So just to see what it will look like with Kyrie out there is going to be big, and just identifying the mismatches. I mean, they got Jackson. I know he's really good, but you put Jackson and Kyrie on an island. I want to see what that looks like, you know? So pushing the pace, I totally agree with you. Pushing the pace against this team is going to be big because they do got shooters on the team. They got Desmond Bane. They got, I ain't going to say Brooks is a shooter, but he can shoot. And I believe they also have another shooter. I am blanking on his name. What is his name? Let me look at their roster. I know it's going to jump out as soon as I see it, and I'll be like, I should have known this name. Desmond Bane, Dylan Brooks, Luke Kennard. They got Luke Kennard out there. He's a really good, really good shooter out there. And then a X factor that I do not want to see have any success tonight is Roddy. Not you, Rodrigo, but the Roddy of the Memphis Grizzlies. Whatever it takes to stop him tonight, it is going to be the key to the victory. And I'm gonna have to set an over/under for him tonight in our segment when it comes to over/under. But yeah, I think it's gonna come down to Kyrie, finding Kyrie's preferred mismatches and what is more effective, pushing the pace with Josh Green, McKinley Wright, those guys, and then don't let Roddy destroy us in the paint like he been doing in the last two games. Any added thoughts before we go into the next segment?
I was gonna say, you know what I'm gonna start calling Roddy if he has a good night tonight.
What are you gonna call him?
I'm gonna start calling him Roddy Rich because he gets rich when he plays the Mavericks.
Man, he's gonna get a payday just playing us, man. I'm pretty sure he's like, man, can we play the Mavs 82 games of the year, all 82? Mm-hmm. Give me a contract like Austin Reeves. All right,
I'm excited with Austin Reeves.
Look, all I'll say about Austin Reeves and all this hype suddenly is like Josh Green is doing those numbers more efficiently and way better than Austin Reeves is with less free throw attempts, but there's no hype. So hopefully we could sign Josh Green a lot sooner before Josh Green messes that market up. Preferably for us, but not preferably also for Green. He needs his payday as well. Let me jump back into the comments right quick before we move on to the over-under segment, which is my favorite segment. Potato Buff says, let Kai cook. And he will cook today. I don't see Mr. Dylan Brooks being able to shut him down. I know they had a great game against the Warriors, but what do you think about that matchup when it comes to Dylan Brooks and Kyrie Irving?
I mean, Kyrie has been able to expose better defenders. And I'm not calling Dylan Brooks a bad or a good defender. I think he's a really decent defender, if anything. So I definitely think Kyrie can find little mismatches and find ways to expose Brooks. Again, it's just going to be really, really important for him to get it in a groove quickly and early. I think that's another thing too. I didn't really think about it, but getting him in a groove early on in the game will be really, really important for sure. Because if he has one of those nights where he's starting off slow, it's going to take a lot for him to come back up. And I mean, fourth quarter Kai, let the man cook. But hey, if he's struggling in the first and second quarter, we could find ourselves down very quickly. Yeah, no, for sure. Marquis says over/under. Man, I'm glad you said it. It is time for the over/under segment. Play the noise. Hit the stinger. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is my favorite segment, and we did start about 20 minutes after the hour, so that kind of means we lost 20 minutes because normally I started an hour before, but there was things before I couldn't start an hour before. I don't know why Mavericks want to play early games suddenly when for a whole month they were playing at 8 p.m. every night. All right, so let's go ahead and let's get into the over-unders. What I do in the over-unders is I will put a prop in the chat below, and I will ask for everybody in the chat to go and select either over or under. Today, what did I want to start with today? Is this it? Is it not clicking? No, it is not clicking. Hold on. Make sure this is right. Start a poll. There we go. All right. Over under. What should we go with over under, Rodrigo? What are we thinking? What's a good over under prop? Let's go ahead and let's do.
We do Roddy's points
over under. Okay. I mean, why not? I was gonna say Kyrie, but give me Roddy.
All right, let's do Roddy. Roddy's let's do points and rebounds. Let's combine them because he kills us on both. So points in / rebounds. He's been killing us. I'm gonna go ahead and hope that we have a defensive outing. So I'm gonna say points and rebounds. Hopefully we can keep it at total. So for those that are watching, points and rebounds combined. So I'm gonna set it at 18.5 points and rebounds combined in the YouTube chat. You'll see there below. You can either pick that Roddy from the Memphis Grizzlies either gets over or under 18.5 total points and rebounds combined. To me, I hope that he is under 18 for our sake. What do you think? He's been getting over the last 2 games.
Yeah, and I think the trend will continue, but I think they'll keep him more at bay than they have. So it may not go over by too much. If I had to set just a mark, just a point blank mark, I would probably go right at 20. So again, not too many not too many points and rebounds over, but not too many points and rebounds under. I think so. I definitely think he'll meet the over under of 18.5.
Yeah, I mean he looks like a superstar when he is playing the Dallas Mavericks. And the first time I saw him, for those that don't know him, his name is actually David Roddy. And when he goes out there, he's just a big dude. He is 6'5", 252 pounds. And if we look at his, let me see if I can see his stats against the Mavericks. All right, so against the Mavericks in the first game, March 11th, he got 24 points and 4 rebounds. That is crazy coming from 23 minutes in that game, right? And he played more in the second half than he did in the first half. And then in the second game against the Mavericks on March 13th, he got 19 points and 5 rebounds. So I really do believe if we want a recipe for winning today, keeping him at 18 below total is going to be massive for us to be able to get a win tonight. What do you think? What do you think about that?
Yeah, well, yeah, and the thing is you noticed you were mentioning that you called it the last 2 points and rebounds total. Was it points and rebounds total?
Yeah.
Or just points and rebounds?
Points and rebounds combined total.
Okay, so yeah, so you were mentioning the points and rebounds over the last 2 games. Again, you mentioned he had 20 plus. Again, I think maybe his stat line tonight might be something around the lines of maybe 15-5, and the only reason why I say that is because maybe the Mavs are starting to figuring him out. Ooh, I can't get the words out of my mouth. Figuring him out. They're starting to figure him out, and so those numbers, those points are starting to drop down. They dipped down in that second game from 21 to 19, as you said. And so again, I think they could drop down a little bit more because they'll have a little bit more focus on him in this matchup. Hopefully that's the case. Hopefully I'm right. But again, it's not too out of the picture of him being under 18.5 as well. So that's still, like I said, a very good stat line regardless.
Yeah, no, I mean, because if you look at his last, what is this, five games against the Mavericks, he was 24-4, right? 24 points, 4 rebounds, and then 19 points and 5 rebounds. But then against the Miami Heat, the San Antonio Spurs, and the Golden State Warriors, against the Heat, it was 8 points. Against the Spurs, it was 2 points. And then against the Golden State Warriors was 11 points. So he has definitely has displayed, how would I put it, some inconsistencies. But against the Mavericks, he is just a complete superstar. So I think if he could stick around below 18 and have a stat line like he did against the Spurs, I think that really helps us, because when you look at the Golden State Warriors lineup, there's, besides Desmond Bane, besides Luke Kennard that could be a shooting threat, there's not another offensive player on there that you fear, that you feel like could do damage to you. So as long as we get out there, pace them out, I'm so confident against the Grizzlies. If we had Luka, I'm beyond confident. Luka has had the Grizzlies numbers. Luka is the ultimate mismatch for that team specifically. So if the Mavs can definitely get a win tonight, keep Roddy at bay, then it definitely gives us a huge opportunity and a huge lift to get a dub tonight.
Really quickly, I know we're in the over-under segment. I did want to mention if Luka, I think the reason why, and I've seen this a lot in Mavs Twitter, I think one of the biggest reasons why Luka isn't playing tonight against the Grizzlies is because they're saving him for Wednesday against Golden State. In that matchup, is, I think, equally as important as, now, granted, all the matchups from this point forward become really, really important.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that matchup specifically is one that they're trying to key in on, because Kyrie has always had Steph's number. And so you have Luka maybe now mismatching with Clay. Like, again, the matchup now becomes a lot more interesting with the addition of Kyrie. We'll see what happens tonight. But again, hopefully Luka feels better by Wednesday so we can have him ready for that.
Yeah, man, I hope so. I think it was 2 weeks ago, Wednesday, that he got hurt against the Pelicans, or he hurt his thigh. And when I looked it up, a grade 1 level thigh strain is about 1 to 3 weeks. And I think right now he's in the middle of that. And hopefully they didn't say what grade it was. But if it was 1, it's like max. The minimum is 1 week, max is 3 weeks. If it is a grade 3, we're looking at 6 weeks plus. So I'm hoping that the Wednesday that you mentioned is the date that finally, he returns and that he's cleared and good to go. So I am crossing my fingers for that. As far as the votes, when it comes to Roddy getting his points and rebounds over 18.5 after 5 votes, 60% of y'all are saying under. So we got some hope tonight. We got some Maxey coming back. So hopefully Maxey can keep that dude out of the paint. So let's go ahead and end that poll and let's start a new one up. But before doing so, let's respond to a comment here. Luka Nikolic asks, did Doncic play tonight? What am I saying? Luka is out tonight. He is still having some thigh issues, but he won't be playing tonight. Hopefully he's available Wednesday against the Warriors, but he is not playing tonight. But Kyrie and Tim Hardaway Jr. are available, in case you wanted to ask. So let's go with Kyrie points on the next poll. What are you thinking? What's the over-under for Kyrie?
Okay, what did he have last game? I think it was closer to 40, right?
Yeah, I think he had 38 or 39 against the Lakers.
38, almost 40. Oh, Lord. Give me the over-under. Put it down for 30, I think.
30 flat?
30 flat. I think he can definitely beat that. But I think that's a little bit more manageable. I think 30 after a really, really good game. I think maybe he'll temper off just a little bit and let some of the other guys kind of have a really, really good game. But I think after, again, like I said, a really, really strong game, I think maybe he'll cool off just a touch. All
right. So for those that are watching, if you want to participate in this over-under segment, there is a poll in the chat. We got Kyrie Irving at points at 30. You could either vote over, that he gets over, or under, that he gets under. And if you're still watching at this point, definitely leave a like on the video, man. I really do appreciate it. It helps the algorithm of the channel. So whenever you know that there's a pregame show or you know that there's a Mavs game coming up, think of it like, oh, an hour before, I already know TGK is going to be doing a pregame show. So that way you come in and tune in into the pregame show just to get you through to the hour to the game. So right now we are about 15 minutes before tip-off, I believe. They normally tip off 10 minutes after the time they say they'll tip off. So we got about 15. So in the middle of doing all of this, Nick's 23 says, what's good, Nick's? Good to see you here, man. I appreciate all the comments. So I try to be like the most engaging YouTuber for the Mavs space. So like whenever anyone comments, I'm quick with it. Try to respond to everybody. Try to get to all the comments. So while we are letting everybody vote on Kyrie getting over or under on points, and since we are cutting it close, we got 15 minutes before tip-off. Let's also get into our game prediction of the night. And let me go ahead and cue the sound for the game prediction. And then also the stinger. All right, game prediction, ladies and gentlemen. Game prediction, ladies and gentlemen. I am going to look at the Vegas line, as I tend to do all the time when it comes to like making these predictions. I just look at it as a point of reference. All right, let's see, Vegas odds. And let me give you the stats that they provide here in a second. Let's see who they got favored. All right, so Vegas, the Caesars Sportsbook, they have the Memphis Grizzlies favored by 4 points tonight, and the point total of 228. So you're looking at 114 apiece. But they got them at a 4-point victory, so you're looking at, what is that? 118. I don't know. That'll be 114, 110 or 112. I don't know. don't even worry about it. 116, 112, something like that. So before I put
that Puss in Boots meme, I'm not really a math guy.
Right. All right. Let me see what I'm thinking. For those in the chat, definitely drop your game prediction. Rodrigo, you want to go ahead and throw your Mavs prediction out there? What do you think, man?
Oh man. Again, I think it really is going to be a tough game. I'm surprised that Caesars has the Mavs or isn't favoring the Mavs in spite of Kyrie being out on the floor. Maybe with Luka out there, maybe they probably would have been favored by 1.5 or something around those lines. But that's really interesting. The fact that even with Kyrie out there, that the Mavs aren't favored or aren't favored by that much. So that's really, really interesting. Do you want just like a final score? Or?
Yeah, just your final score prediction. I'm writing mine as I'm thinking about it. And right now I got the Mavs 120-116 over the Grizzlies tonight.
You darn near read my mind on that. Yeah, 120. I think the Mavs can put up a decent chunk of points. So give me 120 for the Mavs and give me... You know what? I'll be a little bit bolder than you here on this one, TGK.
Okay.
I'll go ahead and give them the Grizzlies 110. So it'll be Mavs 120, Grizzlies 110, and I think again they'll be a little bit more comfortable. It'll be a little bit more of a comfortable win. Tonight,
oh man,
for sure.
I hope so, man. I like to go sleep early tonight. So prediction: I got the Mavs 120, Grizz 116, Rodrigo guys 120, 110. Who do you think gets the post-game interview tonight?
Ooh, okay, that's another good one. Yeah, you hit me with good questions tonight.
You have to like think outside the box. It's like, all right, who normally gets it? Whose turn is it? You know.
Yeah, you can't hit people with the same cookie cutter questions. You know what? Give me Josh. I think Josh might have a really good game. Josh Green might have, I think, a decent night. Not to say again that Kyrie won't have a decent night, but I think Josh Green, with a more than decent night, I think he'll be the one that gets the post game. If not, again, it'll be Kyrie.
Yeah, I mean, can't go wrong there. Who would I think? I mean,
it's not nationally televised, right?
Let me double check here. Let me see.
I'm pretty sure it's on Bally, if I'm not mistaken. I think Wednesday is nationally televised.
Yeah, definitely Wednesday would have to be. Let me just double check, see where this game is on. Because if not, there'll probably be way more hype to it. As far as like the national media is concerned, or TV and streaming. Let me see what they got them on. Because if it is definitely Bally, then we got 10 more minutes to talk about this game. It is loading up. It is loading. And it is about to tell me what it is. This is what I get for running a stream on a laptop. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it is not. It's not on TNT tonight. But yeah, I would say. That's tough. I'm going to say they talked to Maxi Kleba in the last game, so they're not going to talk to him again. I'm going to go with Christian Wood tonight. I think Christian Wood has a good game tonight. And I don't think Kyrie wants to be in every single post-game show. I think Josh Green will have a good game, but I think in this game, Christian Wood has a bigger game. So hopefully that is the case tonight. All right, so let me jump back into the comments real quick. Nick says, TGK for pregame, Glowyard, we talk Mavs for postgame. Yes, sir. You'll see me in their postgame chat as well. So we'll be chatting it up in there, and I'll be telling them about my prediction or about Rodrigo's prediction and see who was King Stradamus tonight. Nick says, y'all should collab for a watch party once in a while. Here's the thing. I'm moving back to Dallas soon. Right now I'm staying in Kingsville, and I'll be moving back to Dallas. So there's going to be a couple of pre-games that I'm going to miss just because of a move. But as soon as I'm stationed down there, I plan on like doing more of this stuff, preferably in person, man. I think it's a lot better to connect with more of the fan base like in person out there. You know what I'm saying? Just to be a fan. Because at the end of the day, I'm just a fan that runs a show. And this show is definitely for the fans out there. But a watch party will definitely be dope. I've done them before. I've done 2, and them things, especially when we lose, they're heavy. They are heavy. I cannot read this name here, but it says, I think it will be 112-106 Grizz win. The Grizzlies can definitely win tonight. Is Ja playing? No, Ja Morant is out. I believe he returns Wednesday against the Houston Rockets. I think that's their opponent. Potato Buff says it's on NBA TV. All right, cool. So they'll stick to their 10 after the tip time. But this unique name says 112-106 for the Grizzlies. That is a pretty low scoring affair. But I got a feeling Kyrie is going to lift you up to the point where you'll be able to put on 120 on this team. So yeah, man.
If Kai was out, I'd agree with that score line, that stat line. That sounds definitely like a lot more attuned to what would happen if Kyrie was a scratch. But since he's not, I definitely think, like you're saying, he'll lift the Mavs up and over the finish line.
Yeah, no, for sure. Here's the thing. All right, here's another one I love to do. I haven't looked at the starting lineup, and I don't think you have either. Can you give me your starting lineup prediction before I pull it up?
Okay.
But you got to think like Kid. Don't think from your preference. What would you prefer? Think how would Mastermind Kid think? This is the starting lineup tonight.
Super genius Kid here. All
right.
Give me. So it's going to be Kai and Green. I'm pretty sure. Reggie has to be in there. I think he's going to go back to the 2 bigs. So give me Powell and Kleber. You can flip-flop them in the order. I don't think it's going to make a big difference, but I think Powell and Kleber are going to get the start over Christian Wood again.
That is a good one. I'm going to. You said Kai, Green, Bullock, Maxime, Powell.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right up Kid's alley. I'm trying to think of something different to be different, but I don't see him starting Tim Hardaway Jr. over Green. So I agree. I think that's the starting lineup. It's the Kid lineup, man. So here is the Kid lineup. It is Kyrie Irving, Josh Green, Reggie Bullock, Maxi Kleber, and Dwight Powell. Man, you hit it around the head.
I did not look at the lineup. I swear I did not look at this lineup. I just got like Jason Kidd for a fraction of a second, and I pulled myself out of there because that's a scary place to be.
Well, I hit you with the audience applause, and we're about to hit you with the sheesh as well. You won't be able to hear it, but in the background you're hearing it.
Appreciate it.
All right, guys. So that is the starting lineup for tonight. You got Kyrie Irving, Josh Green, Reggie Bullock, Dwight Powell, and Maxi Kleber. I actually like the lineup. I actually do like the 2 bigs. We needed to change something up. We were getting beat on the boards quite a bit, and I believe we beat the Lakers on the boards in the Lakers game. I drank quite a bit that St. Patty's Day, so I don't remember too much of it. But tonight, I only drank 1 Yingling for our pregame show, so I'll be good to go. I'll be able to tune in into the full game. But let me double check the chat real quick before we head up out of here. And we got a couple of comments. Tori Johnson, what's up, man? He says, no way Kyrie lets them win again. I hope so, with the exclamation marks. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I hope that is the case.
Yes,
what else we got here?
Yes, sir.
Matthew. Okay, Matthew. That's what it does say. Hold on, it does say Matthew. It just looks like it's written in Chinese or Asian lettering, but it does kind of
shades off to see that one.
Yeah, man. I was like, what is this? Matthew. Okay. Appreciate it, Matthew. Now I know moving forward. Either my eyeballs are just deceiving me now. Nick says, I don't want to think like Kid, Kleber, Wood, Reggie, Green, Kai. The Wood and Powell, that's where you interchange. I don't mind that either. But I think with Powell, at this point, it's like just win. At this point, we're so late in the season. He's not going to give Christian Wood the time that he needs, unfortunately. But I hope I just hope come playoff time, he has been giving Christian Wood the 30 minutes mark lately, which I am extremely happy about. So if he's not going to start, at least give him the 30 minutes and I'll shut the hell up. So that's working so far. And I ain't got much to say to add to that.
Let me ask you real quick, and I know you're reading through comments and stuff like that. What do you think the lineup will look like once Luka comes back? Because I think it'll be obviously the Kai-Luka backcourt. I think if I'm going to put myself in Jason Kidd's shoes, and I hate to be in that place, but if I'm going to do it again, I think he's going to start Bullock over Green, maybe in the first matchup just to see if what fits better. But I think it'll be Bullock over Green, and I think he'll stick with that two big formation with Powell and Kleber.
That is a great question. I think from my approach to this kind of stuff is always you want to have players that could do more than one thing, right? You want to have players that have layers of dimensions to their game. Luka, layered, right? Kyrie, come on, layered. Josh Green has some layers to it. He could pass. He could pass. He could hit some shots. And he could play defense. So that's 3 layers right there to this guy. And he could dunk. And he's athletic. There's a lot of things to Josh Green to like. Christian Wood. He could take a guy on the dribble. He could pop. He could play in the post. He could block people. He had about 5 blocks in the Lakers game. No one talked about it, right?
He had a streak of games at one point in the season where he was getting multiple blocks. I think it was like 4 or 5 games in a row where he had 2 plus blocks. That was impressive in its own right.
And that's what happens when he gets 30 minutes, right? And then to end off that lineup, Maxi Kleber, he could block shots, play defense, and hit a 3 for you. When you think of the lineup that Jason Kidd would play with Dwight Powell gives you a rim runner. And I can't say he's a rebounder because I don't see the consistency in that. I can't say he's a rim protector because I don't see that. You get a rim runner and an effort guy. I like my guys that have layers of dimension to the game. And if you saw in the Lakers game, Christian Wood was dishing it out, playing really smart, really clever. He's coming around. I mean, he's been coming around. We've seen it all season. I just hope he maintains it. So that would be my lineup. Luka, Kyrie Irving, Josh Green, Christian Wood, and Maxi Kleber, because they possess a consistent attack to a defense that you can't just sag off on one guy, and you're just always in a state of panic, right? You have Kyrie or Green going through you, and if you make the defense have to turn around, you help Luka quite a bit on the basketball court. So to end that poll, 8 votes voted that Kyrie gets over 30 points tonight, and if he does get over 30 points tonight, I guess definitely see a victory tonight. Any last comments? Any last words for the pregame show here, Rodrigo? Sound off.
Yeah, I mean, just well, first off, hopefully we get the win. It's going to be a really, really important matchup. Every game from this point forward, as everybody's been saying, is important, and they need every win they can possibly scrape away. The important thing is that if the Mavericks end this season on a hot streak, that means they got hot right at the right time, which means they could probably make a deep run in the playoffs. If don't let the Mavericks get hot at the right time, because if they do, it's trouble for the Western Conference, and especially the Phoenix Suns, who continue to yap, which, by the way, I don't even get me started on Phoenix Suns fans, because they are the worst. They're putrid fan base.
Oh, man.
Absolutely miserable fans. But, hey, you know what? I can't blame them. If I hadn't won a ring, I'd be miserable too.
Yep.
Other than that, I mean, again, just hopefully we get a win. I'm seeing a lot of things about the offseason already, and the season hasn't even ended yet, about like Jimmy Butler possibly being linked to us. So that'll be interesting to see moving forward. I saw a tweet about that earlier today, I think it was. So again, hopefully there's some validity to it. But other than that, I'm just excited for a really, really, hopefully really good Mavericks game, and hopefully a win, a big one.
Yeah, man. Hey, I appreciate you hopping on. Hopefully this 50 minutes went by quickly for you.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I wish I could stay here and talk all about it.
Right. That's the whole point of these shows, man. It's just to make this hour fly by. That way we get to the game quicker. Let me read the last couple of comments before here, and we'll get up out of here. Matthew says, I think Bane is going to get 27 points. Playing against the Mavericks, you can kind of pencil it in. He's going to get over 25 for sure. Anytime he goes against the Mavs. Potato Buff says, I'm feeling like we're going to get 4 20-point scorers. I believe in San Antonio we got 5. So it might be a chance. It might be a chance for that. Nick says, I think we should focus more on what will be our closing lineup in the playoffs. Maxi, Kleba, Wood, Green, Kai, and Luka should be the closing line. What do you guys think? I agree 1,000% with that. What do you think about that lineup?
I think that should just flat out be the starting and closing lineup if I'm being 100% honest. But hey, Jason Kidd won't listen to my ass, so I mean, might as well just say that. Yeah, I think that's a perfect closing lineup. I think that Christian Wood provides you a lot of things closing. He provides you that awkward little Euro step that he's got that looks really funny but works eventually. And again, I think if you have somebody like Kleber that can guard the paint, I think it's really he plays really good on defense in my eyes.
Oh,
so,
for
yeah,
sure.
Definitely, it's a good lineup.
Sure. Matthew says last game was 104-88. So Kyrie giving us 30 could definitely, and a little bit better defense will definitely put us in position to win. Nick says I agree 100% with that lineup. And then Potato Buff says Kai, Luka, Green, Wood, and Maxey should always be our closing line, even in the playoffs. Totally agree. Everybody in the poll after 9 votes, 78% said over on Kyrie points. I believe I responded to every single comment tonight. It has been your boy TGK here with Rodrigo. You can find him at Rodrigo, etc. Appreciate you hopping on, man. We definitely gonna do this again. We definitely got several games to go to, and then hopefully when I go to Dallas, we could probably do this in person or something, man.
I'm down to do this in person for sure.
Awesome, man. Hey, thank you so much, guys. Everybody in the chat. Hopefully, y'all enjoyed the game. Catch us at We Talk Mavs. I'll be in the chat in there, chatting it up on the post-game show. Again, thank you, Rodrigo. And we're going to catch you guys on Wednesday night against the Golden State Warriors. Till then, let's go get this dub.